So recently, there is this declaration that showed up in my inbox, and it's very welcome because I've been looking for this for decades. The evolution of prophecy fulfilled. I've watched it happen over the last 35 years. The visionaries of Devo, Mark Mothersbaugh, Jerry Casale. You're way ahead of your time.
That was the problem. Pioneers who got scalped.
The first in the wagons are the ones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But now it's all come home to roost and it's real. De-evolution is real.
It says, we soldiered on and achieved success, but never quite reached the mountaintop.
Correct.
Well, Moses never made it down into the promised land, but you guys.
Well, now we're going to Whistler. We're finally
And that's
reaching
kind
the
of,
mountaintop.
yeah, we feel like we've come full circle now.
Full circle. So Monday, I think it is, you're at the Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not competing.
Well,
Competing with ourselves, personal
Yes.
best.
yeah.
And while you're there, a concert that we'll see around the world on NBC in the US and around the world, a celebration at Whistler. Are we going to see and hear anything new, or is it going to be the Devo that we've known to love over the decades?
Both yes and no.
Yeah, it's something for everybody here today.
I love a definitive answer.
And it's true. You're going to see new things and you're going to see familiar things.
You are entering this new phase because we're in the 21st century, 10 years into the 21st century,
Yeah.
and here you are leading us again. You are putting, it says putting the ink or the incorporated back in Devo. What does that mean?
We started as Devo Inc. In the beginning, before we had a deal. When we were still in Akron and we were playing in clubs, we decided to become a corporation.
Then our pens were drained and there was no more ink.
Yeah, well, you sign a record deal and then another ink takes you over.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
You basically were merged or taken over by a larger corporation.
Well, you know, you start off being a bartender and you end up being a drunk.
So with Devo Inc., I mean, is there going to be like maybe a stock offering, a public offering that people can invest, or?
If things go well,
Yes, definitely sonically there will be an offering.
And that's coming up later in the spring, I
Oh,
understand. New music.
new music, probably debut most of it at Coachella.
Which is coming up in April.
That's right.
All right, in Southern California out there.
We happen to be playing there on National Record Store Day. How about
National Record Store Day.
Yeah.
Are there any record stores
that?
left?
That's what's funny.
It's sort of a memorial, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works.
Is it as important as President's Day, which we just had?
I think it's probably about the same.
There's probably about the same amount of presidents as there are record stores left in the country.
Right.
Yeah, we're down to about 44, or only a few living record
And of course,
stores.
we will release vinyl. And I know there's so many turntables out there that's going to be millions of people buying the vinyl.
Well, everybody needs to go to the thrift store and find a turntable and restore it so that they can hear it on the vinyl, because that is, in my opinion, the best way to hear Devo.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, there's nothing, even if it's an older piece of vinyl and it's got the crackle in it, there's nothing like that.
Okay, that said, our second album sounded the very best on an 8-track that I had.
I was looking around here to see if they had an 8-track in the room. They've got a lot of old technology in here. But do you still listen to an 8-track?
Not anymore. I don't have an 8-track anymore. The car that it was in, I came back from tour, and the girl who was driving it while I was out of town had compacted it to kind of accordion size. So.
8-track was kind of a precursor to iPod Shuffle.
Yeah.
Kind of rearranged it for
you
you.
could-
It's the first time things got rearranged.
You could punch around like that.
Yeah, a bunch around.
Speaking of rearrange, I understand you're redesigning your safety gear.
Yeah.
Are we talking new colors or new fabrics or?
Yeah, there's
and
a color
why?
study going on. You know, we partnered up not just with Warner Brother, but with Mother LA, and
That's a publicity firm.
it's
No,
a
more
ad
serious.
agency.
Ad agency.
An ad
well,
agency.
okay.
The idea was that Devo was going to turn around their reputations for being hermetically sealed and not playing ball with society. We want to know what you think. Just like CNN says, what do you think? We want to know. We want to know. So there's focus groups involved. There's color studies going on, different costumes being shown to people, different mixes of songs. And we're letting people kind of direct us towards a final product.
Right. I mean, once upon a time, there weren't that many people that had a firm grasp on what de-evolution meant. And we think now that most everybody has some sort of an idea about it. So we're inviting them to help us.
How could you not know? I mean, we've been experiencing it for these decades.
Well, you know...
well, when you think about 1980, right? If somebody would have showed you in a crystal ball 2010, you would have thought it was a bad joke, right?
Yeah, but I'm still looking for the flying cars.
That's what I mean. None of the good future happens.
Yeah.
Only the bad future. Dystopia happened. De-evolution happened, and now everybody agrees. They don't think we're crazy. They know that it was true.
Now, you've got some leadership here.
Yeah.
Signing this declaration is your Chief Operating Officer for Devo Inc.,
Yeah.
Greg Scholl.
Greg Scholl, yeah.
Greg Scholl.
How'd he come in? He's been around for a while, or did you get him from maybe IBM or Intel, or where'd he come from?
He came from NBC.
Well, that really is going to help.
Yeah, he's a real guy.
He's the guy who got Jay Leno to where he is then, I guess.
In an odd way. In an odd way.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're playing ball with corporate society. This is the real deal. We like Greg. We don't like his manager of business affairs, though, Derek Felcher. He's not a good guy.
Really? Yeah. Well, that happens in the corporate world.
Yeah.
But you deal with it.
We've been dealing with it.
Well, you know, it's like dinosaurs turn into petroleum, and then you use that for something else.
What about the birds?
Right, exactly.
Well, let's talk about the music. How has the music devolved? I mean, you were way ahead of your time. Is your music down the road as opposed to where it was in 1975?
No, we're living in the present now. This is more like consensus building, where people agree that global warming's real now, right? And then you move forward from there. We're not trying to freak people out. We're here to be like the house band on the Titanic, to entertain everybody while we all go down together.
I think the proper answer is a yes and no answer, though, because while we are enjoying all the technology that's available to the recording industry, and always we're interested in technology from the beginning with our band, fundamentally, the message is still the same.
Speaking of sound, message, and where it comes from, I know that you have a lot of really vintage, old pieces of electronics. I've seen them in various videos you've got, and you still use them.
Well, the band, we've kept most of the history of our equipment from the very beginning. So you know, Devo has a very large collection that goes all the way back to the 70s.
Just like if you lose the 8-track tape player, you lose the sound that it would have made. But you can reach back into that.
And we used a lot of those instruments on this
album,
new series of songs.
I mean, because we just lose sounds, just like we lose rainforest and we lose
true.
diversity.
It's true.
Well, I mean, somebody 20 now is absolutely kind of like mystified by analog synthesizers. So they've just come to the table on that, and we're able to play them because we played them in the first place. So we're playing them now. And what's funny is some 20-year-old is going to like the new Devo, despite that it's Devo. He won't even have to know it's Devo, and he'll like it.
One of the things that may surprise people is how many young people actually grew up listening to your music, and they're still only 35 years old because they've been listening from the cradle on. And you actually have a really young following. I was at your show a couple of months ago, and I was very impressed to see little kids and their parents, and perhaps even their grandparents there. And I guess that's the whole corporate thing. You're really, by going global at the Olympics, you're reaching out to your broad audience and claiming them.
Kind of like Grateful Devo.
Maybe we need to come up with something like a flying Volkswagen bus or something.
A skeleton with a yellow suit on.
That would do.
Vitamin-enriched potatoes.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mark and Jerry.
It's a pleasure.
An absolute thrill to let the world know about what's happening with Devolution and Devo, and to watch for you at the Olympics.
Let's get the corporate handshake in.
Is that the corporate handshake? Thank you.
That was it.
That's wow. Dang. Thank you. All right.
De-evolution is real.